Hello, everybody, and welcome to Local Cloud Chasers. Woo! Today, we've got a rather very fucking crazy episode, and I just want to address a comment that just popped up from Eli Gaming who says Wings is innocent. He is not fucking innocent, but we will get to that shortly. First, I need to introduce our lovely co-host, Mr. RJ from Game News USA. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone. And where we last left off, we were picking some member berries when it came to Lolcal Live. We talked about remember when the great days of Lolcal Live, when Boogie faked cancer, the all-time peak of the show, both financially and from a creative standpoint. And then this week happened. And this week, we saw Fat Camp start off, and still not really a financial success in any way, shape, or form, or a viewership success, even as much as the camping trip was. But it was boring at first. It was a slow week at the beginning of the week. And then everything hit the fan in a way of which I have never quite seen before. Today, the things you will hear and see will disturb you, entertain you, puzzle you, confuse you, and leave you wanting more, and leave you wanting answers. Today, we have 9 clips lined up for you that we're going to go over. We're going to start off light, and then we're going to progress further and further into the descent of madness that is the lowest form of mankind. Sit back, kick back, and enjoy, because this is going to be a fun one, guys.
I just have no fucking respect for Wings whatsoever. I've got no fucking respect. I just want to say this real quick before we start it. I've got no respect for Keemstar. I've got no respect for Wings. This whole fucking situation could have been avoided, and I'll talk about how it could have been avoided towards the end of this episode. But we're going to go ahead and, like you said, start with chapter 1 of this whole damn thing, and that is Keemstar being a fucking retard and walking on people's back. And I'll just put it this way, if he ever tried that shit with me, he'd find out very fucking quickly what it means to kiss your own ass. Because I would make him kiss his own ass.
Oh, Wings on him.
Oh no, I'll do what some of my brothers and my dad would do when people tried that stunt. Make them literally kiss their own ass. Wings would have nothing on me. Well, let's get this clip started.
Glammy's going on one more time.
I can't stand it. You're not surface.
This is Glammy.
Surface.
Motherfucker, dude, I fucking got 2 vertebrae in my back.
Me too. Roll.
Dude, no more back shit. No, I'm dead serious. I'm gonna hit anybody who gets in my back.
What?
I got cracked vertebrae in my back. That's
Yeah,
why
I got 3.
That's why I got a bad leg.
I got 3.
So wait, I can't stand on you?
No.
Roll over and do your tummy.
I'm gonna put 1 foot on you and
Roll
1
over
foot
and do
on
your
you.
tummy.
No.
It's half the weight you
Stop!
Wait, that
Seriously,
hurts?
stop!
I'm not putting any pressure on it.
Motherfucker, I fell 5 stories.
You fell 5 stories.
Yes, that's why I'm fat.
I thought it was.
What? Whoa. You fell 5 stories, that's why you're fat? Eli, this is your friend. This is your friend who's made one of the dumbest fucking comments I've ever heard. And I just started. And he's already made a comment that's so stupid that it beat what the fucking Predator, who I was making fun of last night, said. How do you do that? How? Someone explain that one to me.
Okay, I'll do my best. So I think what he's trying to say is he fell 5 stories. That caused his back problems, so it made him more disabled. So then, therefore, he sat at home and ate and got fat. But where's the responsibility for shoving the shit down your throat? I'm fat because I eat. This is fucking Taco Bell right here I had today.
Man, I got Wendy's right here. Well, matter of fact, I was eating right, and like you guys probably saw it, I was eating the last of my food because I was eating lunch right before I started this live stream. And I want to say one other thing. One of my brothers, I'm not going to name which one, nearly took his whole leg off while he was practicing for wrestling for a national tournament. He rebuilt himself thanks to the help of our chiropractor, and he's not fucking fat. And he's 6'3". He's 6'3". He weighs about 225 pounds, and he's pretty fucking athletic for his age.
Me and Wings both like Pepsi. Just gonna throw that out there. And you eat Wendy's, so we kind of both doing the Wings thing.
Yeah, and like I got Dr. Pepper because they didn't have any cherry Dr. Pepper, and I was kind of mad about that. And then Eli Gaming over here saying L plus ratio for Tim's. I'm just letting you know, you step on my back, it's not going to end well. I actually have scoliosis that wasn't caused by any injuries.
Eli's giving you the L for your Wings take right off the bat of the show. I said, let's give it some time. Let's give it some time. This is why I wanted to include this first clip. You can see anger starting to build in Wings because of the shit Keem is doing.
Right, and like I've already stated that Keemstar needs to face fucking consequences for his actions, but you'll understand more of what kind of consequences he should face as we go. Because I've got a lot of opinions, and we don't have a lot of time, so we need to get this train on rolling.
I don't believe any of them.
His lip is quivering. He's mad, dude.
Stop.
He's mad.
What's going on?
Dog, my legs are asleep. They're fucking acting up. You step right on my lower back, which is where my vertebrae.
Scooter with the I look like a piggy honk honk comment.
I can't feel
Wow.
my legs right now. Give me a second.
No one's doing anything to you.
You stepped on my fucking back. You don't understand that we are fucking fat and we're fucking disabled. There's a reason I'm fucking fat.
See, Wings
because I
almost
have
fought him
a
right there.
fucking
That was like day
mental
2 of Fat Camp.
No one's touching you now.
Right, but you just stood on my back.
That was like 10 seconds ago.
That doesn't change the fact that I have nerve damage.
Will you stand on my lower back? I want to see if it cracks.
Mine?
Yeah.
Boy, stepping on their backs doesn't help them in Fat Camp at all.
No. How's this helping them lose weight?
Fucking with you. I literally passed out, woke up, I didn't know where the fuck I was at.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Wow.
Well, I'm confused. I thought you were.
Vicious Hanzo with the comment that I was wondering about where they were, so I appreciate the information. He said they're at a place called Restoration Ranch. I highly doubt they're being restored. That is a very ironic name. Like quick story reminds me of the time when my church decided for youth camp we should go to. This is a real state park in Georgia. It's called Hard Labor Creek State Park. That is legitimately the name of it, and it comes from when they decided to enslave people and make them work at the camp during the Confederacy. True story. That's the name of the camp. Hard labor. And it was hard labor repairing that damn thing because it's a historical landmark. Therefore, if you're not allowed to make any modern day changes to it. So you're telling me I can't have a smoke detector in my room, so if my room catches on fire, I'm fucked?
Well, that's retarded. But if you want to see retarded, just go to the next clip where they're messing with the car.
Oh, this gets even more retarded. And this is already going to be good.
Absolute worst podcast on all of YouTube. You are watching Lol Cow Live. I don't know what I've been told. I don't know what I've been
What the fuck?
At least this is some exercise.
Yeah, let's go.
You see how they're building up this culture of aggression.
Yeah.
Wondering why it ended aggressive at the end of the week.
So, look at this. What the fuck is this? This isn't educational. This isn't educational. This isn't helping them lose weight.
Tim, newsflash, buddy. Fat Camp's not supposed to be educational. This is entertainment, bud.
Motherfucker! It talks about you're gonna fix them, help them get better lives, this and that and fucking other. This isn't helping nobody. This is being retarded.
And none of us were born yesterday. They weren't gonna get fixed in 2 weeks. They just wanted to do shit on stream for fun, and that's fine. And this is kind of cool. Right? It's kind of cool.
No, not really.
I mean, I can see how. Oh, having a bunch of mentally retarded people that are off their pain medications bashing shit, I'm sure that isn't like, gonna seep into on aggressions in the week. I'm sure that it won't help fuel the fire, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna end perfectly fine. Nothing bad is gonna happen. Totally. Fucking wow. Why a crowbar?
Fucker, I was okay with smashing the goddamn thing. Don't fucking push it around, you dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. You ruined Fat Camp. You understand that?
Bringing back Francis of yesteryear.
Yeah, mother. Hey, calm down.
Oh my God.
What do you mean calm down?
I wasn't on deposit. I'm gonna have some fun doing it, motherfucker. Oh.
Have fucking fun clean that shit up.
Who's cleaning this up?
I don't give a fuck.
Have you lost it?
I wanna. Yeah, I think he fucking has.
That was your mother, and she just grabbed your temples.
She's got your. What the fuck, man? That's horrible.
No! How am I gonna see?
It's supposed to call.
It's too bad some of the glass
Jesus.
way on them.
This is.
Close my door.
This is. I'm at a loss for fucking words. You get it, Eli? This is your buddy right here on the car.
Holy shit. Oh, shit.
Watch it.
Put it. Fuck. Could you imagine getting in a car accident with him?
I'm gonna break my fucking ankle getting off of this.
Retard. And the way he jiggles too.
I broke it. Somebody has to get in the car and hit the brake.
Hey,
No, the brake.
I do have to say something though. I'd say, okay, we're making a big deal about Wings, for what he did. Pedo behind the camera's still on the fucking show. He needs to go before Wings ever goes.
Both of them need to go at the exact same time.
I'm saying out of the two of them, if one of them has to go, Pedo behind the camera needs to go.
You know Keemstar will never let him go. That will never fucking happen.
You can tell Fat Camp, early on it was kind of whatever. They made him swim. They made him smash cars. They stepped on their backs. There was a little bit of hostile environment.
He shot Boogie with a paintball gun.
Shit really hit the fan though, like starting outside of Fat Camp with this next button. But yeah, I'll give some thoughts while you're gone. I'm gonna explain to people what my plans would be for Wings while you're gone. When it comes to Wings of Redemption and this whole situation, and Becky, I'm in the camp of I'd keep them. Keep them both. And the reason why is either shut down all the shows because they're all degenerate pricks, or keep them all on because they're entertaining. I lean on the entertaining side. If I didn't think it was entertaining, I wouldn't be doing a show covering it. But camp is going to be wildly boring this last week without Becky or Wings there. It just will be. Now, going forward, though, I would not have Becky or Wings at any live events. In fact, going forward, I probably would avoid live events if they're going to cost $50,000. Considering the fact LolCow had to be live for like 12 hours on Saturday and like 11 hours on Sunday, clearly they are struggling to bring the money back and recoup what they've already spent. And I'm tired of their content, what they're doing with, they're going sitting in the theater room and they're just letting text-to-speech talk. And they're just, you imagine having 8 streamers sitting in a theater room and they're letting text-to-speech talk. That's the content yesterday. I just shut that shit off. It was boring. The most fun we've had at Fat Camp is what Becky and Wings have done. It was. It just was. Now, what would I do with Wings going forward? I'd make him take a demotion. It would be a demotion in pay, because what I would do is, he works so well with Jaffe. Jaffe needs an actual co-host. I would move Wings to LolCow Madhouse. Okay. And then I would, on Queens, I'd let Becky stay. I'd get Kid behind the camera to regular LolCow Live because his chemistry's better with Keem and Boogie anyway. Then I would have Becky, Tina, and I would call up Savage Elkers to be on Queens. Then I would, on Queens, I would replace Savage's spot with Zeta Ray. Then while we're at it, since we're going to let degenerates be in the LolCow universe anyway, we should mend the bridge with Grace and Lynx. Grace and Lynx should be on LolCow Rejects and have another show under the LolCow banner with the two of them. And then bing bang, the world's happy again. That would be my suggestion. But yeah, it's scripted. Was it scripted?
Oh, that fight had to have been scripted. There was no way that was a real fucking fight.
Scripted. Now keep in mind, later on, they talk about this and they say this fight was real. And even he said the fight was real too later on when he was
because we're at the main event clip now.
But we're getting to the main event, but I got to talk a little bit about this Becky Roxy thing. So here's how I've always treated LolCow, and this is how we should treat LolCow. Too often people, this part scripted, not scripted, scripted, not scripted. I'm going to assume, although it sounds retarded, everything we see is real. Because that's how they want to present the show. That is how we're going to cover it, whether they like that or not, because sometimes that does not work in their favor. However, Wings calls out a certain thing that happened where Becky's showing up to Texas was planned, because he said they passed around the hat, which would indicate they were putting money in to get Becky down, which is another expense to Fat Camp. But he brought that up. It pissed off Keem, and it started the argument, and Wings took it way too fucking far. And these are the clips that you're about to see.
You mind if I?
Yeah, so we will acknowledge that part. We will acknowledge that part was scripted where Becky came in, because Wings acknowledged it and then Keem acknowledged it by responding. But other than that, we're going to portray everything else as if it really fucking happened, like we would cover a wrestling show.
Because to our knowledge, everything that happens here legitimately happened. This was not scripted, because multiple people even outside of LolCow has testified that this was not scripted. This happened. This is legitimate, 100%.
Everything they do, I will assume it's not scripted when we cover it, unless it's acknowledged it's not scripted.
Or evidence to prove otherwise.
Like, even though I personally might feel like this is scripted, I don't say it on here because I'm playing along too. We're playing along with the show ourselves by covering see as we see it without diving too deep in whether or not it's scripted. But we do acknowledge the Becky interest was scripted. But this fight and the subsequent other clip after this was definitely real.
Oh yeah. And more than likely, like, not more than likely, it is fucking real. And you mind if I add some more context to it? Some other stuff I had seen?
Absolutely, go ahead.
Cause we got some time. So, I brought up earlier that I said I talked to Cilp, and he made a video about it as well. In his video is some of the stuff that me and him had talked about. If you look at Wings, initially from the outset had some good points because he made statements about, well, if you look at how professional wrestling portrays everything, if you look at, again, like son of a wrestler and whatnot, and I'll get into why I think Wings is completely wrong with using professional wrestling in this particular incident, but I'll touch that on in a moment. Keemstar's like, well, no, here's the thing. You just don't go out and expose stuff. You just don't go out and go like, oh, hey, yeah, actually we faked all this stuff. This is actually fake. You know, this is all fake. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Like, no, we're supposed to be an entertaining show. And Boogie goes, well, Wayne, think about it. This is supposed to be fun and entertainment, and that's the whole thing. That's why they did the whole fight, was because it was supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be entertaining. He's like, oh my God, these two women are fighting at Fat Camp. Oh my God. Everybody come look at this and donate and cheer it on. Like, that's the joke of it. They're not actually fighting. They don't actually have a problem with each other, but you wouldn't expose it. And he's like, well, here's the thing. It makes me look like a liar, because the biggest thing is he kept taking it personally. And this is where he was wrong. With professional wrestling, wrestlers don't take this super fucking personally if they are wrong or not. They don't expose the business. They don't expose what we do. They work with it. And that was my problem.
I got something. Tommy C had this issue too. That's why one of the reasons he left Lolcow. He didn't want to do scripted shit.
Yeah, he wanted on the spot improvisation, but also Tommy C. Tommy C was boring as hell. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry, he was boring as hell. He didn't really add anything to the conversation. As it goes, if it was fake, they would have gone it all on camera. There was a lot of random shots not on the fight, and just Kid and Billy standing there like a deer in headlights.
It was absolutely not scripted, for sure.
We're not saying what happens with Wings and Keem is fake. Yeah. We're talking about Becky and Roxy. That.
No, what happened with? Oh, you talking about Becky? Oh, are they talking about Becky and Roxy being real?
Yeah.
Why I lean that's also.
I don't believe it. That looks too fucking fake. I've seen cat fights like that. They're a lot more nastier. There's a lot more hair pulling. There's a lot of scratching, eye gouging. Trust me, I've seen that kind of stuff before. That's why I'm like, yeah, that's fake. What those two did was fake. Or like the shittiest fucking fighting I've ever seen.
Becky did have injuries following that fight as well.
Oh, okay. So Hansi was referring to Wings.
Is fake for sure.
Okay, cool. We weren't sure.
Jury's out, or the jury's in. Becky and Roxy was fake for sure. I was about to say, I was trying to give him benefit of the doubt that it was real too. Maybe I shouldn't have.
Well, to be fair, the way they set it up, if you weren't necessarily smart to everything that was happening, or smart like a certain guy named Phil, he got rug pulled. you would have thought it was real.
Okay, it doesn't make sense. But if it's not real and it was a fake fight, they sent Becky home. Wouldn't they want Becky there the rest of Fat Camp?
No, they claim.
That's where I'm hung up.
Well, here's the reason why. Think about if you go back and you go to the initial live stream. If Keemstar has people underneath a contract like he says he does, Why wouldn't he be behind the scenes telling them, hey, I want you to do this because this generates controversy here, and then we're going to do this here because it continues that controversy. Then we're going to pretend like we did this, and then I'm going to pay for you to get home. I want you in like a certain amount of time, take some time off, get yourself ready, and then get on your show, and then we're going to start this big feud coming up, and we're going to have Lol Cal versus Becky Boob and the Becky Gang, and we're going to do all this crazy shit.
I know we're sticking on this point a little long, but that's okay because we do have some time. We're actually moving through this pretty brisk. Clips like this may be the new way we do streams because it seems like we go through the story faster. But when it comes to Becky and Roxy, to bring Becky out for just the shaving of the head, the fight, and then have her leave, I don't get it. Controversy sells. Think about it. They could have done the fight at the end of Fat Camp. They could have had Becky there the whole week. Maybe she couldn't be there the whole week, and that's the only reason I can think of. Yeah, you can think about she brought up her family. What if she actually has like legitimate family issues and whatnot? Or she couldn't get someone to do the house sitting or whatever it was, or maybe a family. Interesting what they said in the comments here. They said the site's big enough, it's easy to move them to a different building and hide them. So, I mean, look, we'll find out if they're there. They're doing Fat Camp this whole week. If Becky or Wings shows up, then they're still on the campus. Or it's also possible that Keem is having Becky. It's also possible that he could be having Becky doing the behind-the-scenes work for him, like with OBS and whatnot, helping Twiggy with setting up stuff, setting up the cameras and everything. And everyone's supposed to be hush, don't talk about her being here. Pretend like she doesn't exist while the cameras are running. That's a waste of Becky. That's a waste of Becky. So I think it's either one of two things. Either the fight's real and she got sent home, or the fight's fake because Becky could only be there for a couple days and had to go back. That's it. There's no other better explanations. Again, that third option is a possibility. I mean, he did the same thing to Lynx, put Lynx behind the scenes. Well, here's the good news. If she's still there this week and she pops back up, then that commenter will remember them. We'll shout them out for putting out that theory if it comes true, because we'll be on next week and we'll talk about more stuff. Yeah, Vicious Hansu. We still got a lot of show left to do today. Go through with Wings. We're gonna go ahead and get to that. Yeah, so this is definitely the highlight of the show right here coming up. So so here comes the main event of the evening. This is the big fight between Wings and Keem, and the topic of the discussion. The reason why I said welcome to Local Hell. Here we go.
Content or sub Wings or
hey, first play the clip all the way through without interrupting, and then we'll go back through and
deal with every person.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute myself actually.
Say everything's my fault. Multiple different fucking challenges with the internet and everything else. People criticizing me, mainly Wings, for picking this place. When it's like, dude, what am I supposed to do? Fly down and scout the place and check out stuff? Like, you know what I mean? I don't have time for that. I gotta do a show every fucking day.
Here's a mistake that you made. A $32,000 mistake. If we did this in April, we could have done this at Lord Rush's place for free with gigabyte internet. But you wanted it faster.
$355. All those waters.
Here's a mistake that you made.
What's that?
You think I'm gonna forgive you for this?
I don't give a fuck.
You say that. I promise you will.
Just push on the back. That's fucked.
I don't know. So he's just fucking sabotage the brand, sabotage.
I'm not sabotaging the brand for a lie that you fucking made.
Yeah.
I'm not sabotaging.
Yeah, you are.
You creating a lie, sabotaging.
And you're even calling it a lie.
It's a fucking lie.
You're even calling it a lie.
What part of it is not a fucking lie?
You're calling it a fucking lie.
What part of it's not a fucking lie? Tell me which part of it.
It's not a lie.
Look right
It was
there.
a setup.
That's not a setup.
And
It's
why,
a fucking
and
lie.
why are you getting loud in my face?
Because I fucking can.
Dude, are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? You better stop. Hey, you better stop. You better stop. You better
Hey, that's your fucking wife now. Go calm down. That's your wife, man. Go calm down. That's your wife they're hurting now. Calm down. Calm down.
Please don't. Fuck away from her. Get the fuck away from her. What are you doing?
Go calm down. Go calm down.
Why are you lying about me?
What's the lie? Sometimes you lash out when you feel like you made a mistake or other people Don't worry about me. Worry about your wife. Worry about your wife right now.
That's your fucking wife. Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
I'm not gonna let this motherfucker lie about me.
$20.
That's your wife.
Makeup artist to do a better job on the fake injury. By the way, this is a W storyline. Whoever cooked this script up is killing it.
Go work shit out with your wife now, please.
That's not working, bro. Just go calm down. She tripped. I know.
We all know.
Right there. Look, there's a lot of aggression.
Go work shit out with your wife, please. I know.
The only reason I called for Ken was because I can't hold him.
I know.
And I don't want him to do anything stupid.
He didn't do anything to hurt you. It
That's
happens. But why don't you guys go out and have a nice dinner? Why don't you go relax?
Right, nothing's gonna get solved right here.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Just go calm down.
Danny super chatted $20.
And I didn't
Is
lie
that a
on you.
gun
I
case
said,
in
man,
his
sometimes
hands?
you lash out when you feel like.
Boogie.
I'm sorry. Well, I mean, look, if I gotta get hit today, I'll get hit. I don't care.
Shut the fuck up so he can leave. Shut
Maybe he wants to hit me, he can hit me. I don't care.
Boogie, or I'm going to. Shut the fuck up.
I don't care.
Just shut
I don't care. I have no problem getting hit.
He's going to try and help you.
Okay. I got a lot I want to say. Let me start with Xylee
Do you
first.
want to say it first, or do you want to go through frame by frame a little?
I want to say this to Xylee. Xylee, don't fucking threaten to attack somebody after there's already been a fight. That only continues to fight, you dumb motherfucker. Makes me want to take you for that statement. Don't fucking threaten people when there's a fucking fight that just went down, when you got a man that has a fucking gun in his hand and he's threatening to murder somebody. Stop being fucking retarded. Stop it. It's so easy to not be retarded.
Take
Fucking idiot.
that your take was to go after Xylee?
Yeah, that's the first fucking thing, because I didn't realize she had said that. After, because I had no clue about that. Because every other clip I ever watched, that was cut out. So I didn't know about that. That pissed me all the way off.
Oh, and kept this in.
Boogie was doing the right fucking thing by talking to him and telling him what to do. You should have let Boogie fucking talk, because Boogie was telling him what he needed to do. Step by step what to fucking do.
Hold up.
Step by fucking step.
Boogie in the right?
Yes, Boogie was in the fucking right.
Boogie was acting it on. Boogie was like, if someone needs to get hit me.
That's what he said. If that was going to happen, then let him be the one that got hit. But he was telling him he needed to go take his wife out. He needed to go talk to his wife. He was telling the other people, let him go talk to his wife one-on-one. And his wife went to him. Kelly walked over to him and started talking to him. And he was like, yes, I understand, but you and Wings need to walk away and go talk. Not around here with the cameras and everybody else around. You two just need to go by yourselves in a room and just have a conversation. Or if somebody needs to be there, Ken could be there. And the fucking Harleys who are yelling, there's your fucking wife, and is only acting on the fight, they're retarded too. This fucking dickly 100-pound fucking soaking wet, if that woman is trying to take on a 406+ man, it's the most retarded fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Keemstar is a fucking coward, so I guarantee you I can easily whoop his ass with no problem there. So, the fucking idiot doesn't know how to fight, yet he wants to talk mad shit. The only fucking other person.
It comes out looking out of this good.
Billy the Fridge was the only one. And while they were talking about how he's looking idly, all he was doing was simply being the big body that if Wings tried to push past, he could push back and push back harder and keep Wings back. That's all he was doing. Because that's all he needed to do. Because Chill Force pointed that out. The moment when Boogie realized he was right there behind him, and then Ken blocked him in, Boogie's right there next to him. He's got 900 plus pounds blocking his path. He's got nowhere to go. That's why he started calming down.
Sat there like a bump on a log. Boogie sat there in his fucking seat doing nothing while Wings was running towards his boss with Kelly and Ken trying to stop him. Boogie,
you also had
worthless, useless piece of shit.
Here's the other thing you're also not mentioning is that you also got kid behind the camera is fucking trying to hook on the Wings. He's trying to drag him down. He's literally not only holding on to thousands of dollars of equipment because he was supposed to be filming everything in the meantime, but he's also now trying to hang on the Wings, which I disagree with Chill Force. Mike actually tried to stop him and he couldn't fucking get him to stop. He got shoved off into a post. And he stumbled back.
Peter behind the camera wasn't doing his full job to try to restrain Wings. Ken, I'm so disappointed in Ken. He is a strong 6'6" guy, and he literally Wings. I know Wings is big. But Ken has muscle to him, though. Come on, Ken.
That's what I said.
Better than that shit.
That's the other thing that kind of pisses me off is that Ken didn't grab a hold of him. Because if you look, Billy the Fridge was actually trying to put Wings in a fucking sleeper hold, which I don't know why he was trying to put him in a sleeper hold. But I guess he thought maybe if I jump on his back and put him in a sleeper hold, I could like jockey him away. Which I guess that was the logic he was going with, which is dumb logic anyhow when you're taking on a big fellow like that. If you want to stop a big man running you like that, what you do is you go for the legs. Kick the legs out, kick the kneecap out, break the kneecap, and you'll cripple him. That's what you have to do.
Oh, wait, let's just say everybody was in shock. People didn't know what to do. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I'm thinking about Boogie was like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What is that?
Boogie didn't even attempt anything. I won't give him benefit of the doubt. But Ken tried. Kelly tried. Kelly shouldn't have been trying. That's number one. She shouldn't have even been in the picture.
Well, I can understand why she was trying to.
But address. You believe that case contained a firearm.
From what I understand, the report said the case had a firearm in it, and that apparently Wings off camera was threatening to shoot Keemstar, and that's why he was coming at him, because he was going to knock him down with the case, get the gun out, and shoot him.
I have heard. I think I heard this on one of the lolcow streams with Keem. He said Wings never had a gun on the property, and those were Clipper cases.
The fuck he's gonna do with Clipper cases?
Damage control, or was that Clipper case?
Oh, that's so damage control. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's a gun in there. I recognize that style case. Those are usually for like 9mm because those are concealed carry cases because they're meant to look. They're meant to not look conspicuous. Like, oh hey, you can tell for a fact there's a gun in there.
Over this before they went down to Texas, they went over this with Wings and he not bringing his firearm because of a previous incident. And supposedly they have security there that would have checked. But I'm starting to think
there's no security.
I haven't seen any security on camera.
There's no security.
I'm starting to think there's no security there at all.
Oh no, I know what it is. There's security at the gate that only protects the property but doesn't actually work for Keem. That's probably what it is. Security that makes sure are you the guest that... Go ahead.
What do you think the property owners think about all this shit?
If I was a property owner, Wings is getting charges, Keemstar is getting charges, and I'm throwing everybody else the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my property.
Yeah, there are fucking minutes to that property. But anyway, what I wanted to go back to this clip, and before we really go back to that clip and kind of go through it frame by frame with the physical altercations, I do want to touch on something Wing said about the $32,000. So you got to think, this is what's simmering the tensions over there, is the fact that so much money was spent to do this fat camp and they won't be able to make it up. And that's the real tension of this, because Wings knows if they had waited till April, they could have done it at Lord Rush's house for basically nothing. And Keem refused and wanted to get it done sooner. And I believe that's the underlying clash between Keem and Wings. And one of the reasons we brought up the back thing, that was just anger simmering on the top. Also, let's remember, Keem also convinced Wings to get off of his medications, which would have helped him mentally as well.
That was something I was gonna rag on Keem for a moment, but I wanted you to go ahead and speak about the underneath side, because I wanted to go ahead and get Keem now, because I've gotten everybody else that I've wanted to rag on. Keem is now the main motherfucker I wanted to get for all of this. Because if it wasn't for Keem taking Wings off his medication, if it wasn't for if Wings hadn't shoved her, then she'd be perfectly fine. So he's a piece of shit for that too, and go to jail, where his fucking fat ass belongs. If it wasn't for Keem fucking pushing Wings over and over and over and over again, if it wasn't for fucking Keemstar rushing to do all this shit, a woman would not have been injured. Let me explain. You see, because that fall may have looked like nothing at all, but her head hit that metal fucking table. Yes, that's a metal table. It does not take much to crack the back of your skull, especially around the spinal cord area, which is right here. It does not take much.
Yeah, it could be worse.
If that had fucking broken, she would have been dead upon impact. Someone almost died because of Keemstar's fucking retarded, stupid ass. He is responsible for all of this. He is literally the devil in this situation.
Well, let's really think about it. He brought everybody together for this content to begin with. Dude, they're making almost the same amount of money if they would have just sat home. This whole fucking project's a fucking disaster. This is not like the camping trip where it was on Keemstar's property and it's just a few people and it's just Locale Live. He's running 9 or 10 shows. Some of them are not even at Fat Camp, and they're running streams 24/7, cucking all the content possible, and literally taking 8 streamers, sticking them in the theater room when they're supposed to be at Fat Camp, just sitting there waiting on $20 TTS to donate. Having to stream 12 hours a day to try to make up the money they've already spent to do this lame-ass fucking Fat Camp, which isn't getting them skinnier and isn't working them out anyway. Big, giant L for the gnome. Keemstar has punishment. You should shave your fucking beard.
No, in my opinion, he needs to be investigated by the fucking FBI. I'm dead serious when I say that. He needs to be investigated by the FBI. And I wanted to read a commenter's statement. I love you, Flynn. And you make a great point here, because one thing I noticed is that when all it happened and went down, everyone was in shock that it actually happened. That's why everything went down the way it did, because he didn't know how to handle it. Yes, he's exactly right. Well, what was Billy the Fridge supposed to do? I highly doubt he's ever had that kind of level of conflict. Me and my family have dealt with fucking idiots in the wrestling business who've done stupid shit like that in the past. So we would know how to handle that. I wouldn't expect Billy the Fridge, somebody who's just been a laid-back streamer most of his life, to necessarily know what to do in that kind of situation. Boogie, I wouldn't necessarily expect him to react either. Given that if his history of sexual violence is correct, And given that he also was, from what I understand, at that point in time, the reason he was sitting on the couch was because his leg was injured, which I would not be particularly shocked at all, given the stupidity that Keemstar had him doing. Instead of properly working out and exercising, he was doing stupid shit, which actually would add on to the pain. And not to mention, if you actually looked at Boogie's legs, they're infected. That's the first stages of fucking gangrene that's happening. So that's why I wasn't necessarily mad at him getting up, because I can understand that not only would it have taken a tremendous amount of effort, what was he gonna do when he got up? Swing at Wings? Well, now that's a fucking another fight happening. That's two big men that's swinging at each other. That may or may not end with someone going.
He can't throw a punch.
Yeah, so what the fuck there? But again, go back to how he was telling him, hey, calm down, man. Hey, calm down. Listen to me. Talk to me. Listen to me. Don't pay attention to anybody else. Just focus on me. He was actually doing the smart thing. That psychology tells you should do that. Why? Because if you get him to focus on something that's positive, his friend, because he was coming at him as a friend, he wouldn't treat other people at that moment in time as a threat. Psychology. That's psychology for you.
Can you rewind it to the part where Wings starts walking over to Keem? We'll break it down like every 10 seconds or so. Or every few seconds we'll break down what happened here.
Yeah, so like starting about.
I'll tell you when to pause, and then we'll. Actually, you just pause it every now and then. We'll break this down like pretty good.
So we'll start here.
That you made.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this part play first.
You think I'm gonna forgive you for this?
I don't give a fuck.
You say that.
Right there, right off the bat, Keemstar started the fight. Wanna know how he started the fight?
No. Keem, this is stuff that Keem would say to Wings if they were online. The problem is they're IRL right now.
Wait, let me finish. This is the reason why I'm saying this. He knew for a fact Wings was pissed off. He knew Wings was at the boiling point that he wanted to fight. He knew for a fact that was going to happen. He should not have made that statement. He should have instead said,
I don't believe so.
Well, here's the thing. You want to start a fight? You want to get yourself killed? Make statements like that. I promise you, shit like that goes down. I've seen it go down before in real life. I've seen it multiple fucking times. Want to be a smart person? Don't make comments like that. Just say nothing at all. Or even better, you could go, you know what? I don't care what you have to say, Wings. It's a dead comment now. We're moving on. We're going to move on to your punishment.
Wings, they weren't drunk yet on this stream, I don't believe.
No.
And on top of that, sadly, they were actually sober. But Wings doesn't drink alcohol anyway, so that's not even an excuse, I will say to the commenter about that. But
no alcohol was involved.
The reason why I put Wings at fault here is shit talking happens in the LCU, right? Shit talking happens. But getting physical is another level. I did not expect Wings to walk over there and do what he did next. If you play the clip, he physically lays it on Keem first.
Yeah.
I promise you will.
See, that comment, I promise you will. That is basically saying, come fight me, bro. That's literally a come fight me, bro.
So he's just fucking sabotage the brand.
Oh, no, he would say him online, though. He would. He'd say
that you fucking made.
Yeah.
Not sabotaging.
Yeah, you are.
You creating a lie, sabotaging.
And you're calling it a lie. You know.
It's a fucking lie.
See, even now, I didn't think Wings was going to get physical.
What part of it's not a fucking lie? Tell me what part of it.
Even now, even while he's yelling, I didn't believe it.
And why, fucking lie.
Why are you getting loud in my face?
Well, he's yelling because he's pissing him off, and Keemstar keeps agging it on, when he could just simply,
That's why
Oh, actually,
they can't do these.
What is that?
Collaborations.
Actually, hold up, real quick. Look what Keemstar has in his hand. I think Finn might be right. I think that might be an alcoholic beverage. Because that green bottle looks familiar to me.
So mean, Keem might have been drinking, but Wings doesn't drink, is what I was saying.
Yeah, so like that makes it even worse because that means Keemstar was inebriated when this was happening.
Now, this right here, this is the moment where I thought, oh, maybe it will get physical because Wings steps up to Keem. He's starting to get more. Keem steps up, and and he's facing him down. So now at this point, all right, we're getting ready to rumble.
Yeah, now this is where Wings is in the wrong. Now Wings needs to just, because clearly Keemstar's not going to back down. He's in the wrong for it. Wings, if he was being smart about it, should have just immediately said, you know what, boss, go fuck yourself. I'm going to my cabin. And walk off. And let it go. But instead, he chooses to fight, which is totally fucking wrong. That was totally a stupid move.
Because I fucking can.
See? That. And then he starts trying to gouge his eyes. I'm going to pause it there.
I will stop there for a second. So if it had stopped there, that was already a crazy enough moment.
Yeah.
It's this next clip that causes Wings to eventually get fired. And really, I don't know if Keem would have fired Wings anyway. He said he wouldn't have if this didn't happen. But you know damn well if Keem was being petty at Wings, that now he had his excuse.
Oh, because he was being fucking petty at him. And I guarantee you what he was going to do is probably, like, snip some of Wings' paycheck. Like, whatever, when the next paycheck rolled around, he would just go, hey, you remember when you said this and this and this at Fat Camp? Well, I'm going to dock your pay because of it. That's pretty much what Keemstar was probably going to do. At this point, this is what...
Keemstar's reputation took a hit, though, for this reason. His manly reputation. He walked off stage right to avoid Wings. They could have worked it out, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it could have. It should have ended the moment before the first part of the fight, I should say, because this is a two-part fight. The moment the first part started up, Keemstar should have not said, I'm not going to forgive you and I'm going to make you regret it. Wings should have not walked over and started getting in the man's face. And they especially should have not started trying to lay hands on each other over something incredibly stupid.
Well, Keem's drunk. The commenter was right about that, Flynn. He might be a little buzzed at least. But Wings wasn't drinking, but what his problem was, he's off of his meds that would have made him more mellow.
That probably would have controlled more of his... because the right side of your brain is responsible for your emotional response. So more than likely he is bipolar.
Now, we did have a commenter say earlier, I want to point this out, that there was a little Twitter video that leaked, and we're not going to show it here, but it was Wings slapped Kelly's arm real hard.
Can I tell the full story?
Sure, go ahead. You got it.
So the full story is that Twiggy was driving with him. He was recording the camera because those two were bickering back and forth about the traffic on the way there. Someone cut from the very right lane, cut in front of them, and Kelly hit the horn because they nearly got in a car accident. Wings, having a mental fucking breakdown, believing that the driver was going to get out of the car with a Thompson submachine gun and blast their car like it was the 1940s, decides to snatch Kelly's arm and pulled it. Twiggy yells, "What the fuck are you doing?" Kelly, now while still driving, is now trying to bandage her arm like this while she's driving at fucking 60 miles an hour, because you can read the speedometer hitting 60. While the other driver's still in front of them trying to cut them off, and Wings is telling her, "Shut the fuck up, you're a stupid bitch." Now, apparently, Twiggy was going to post a video, but decided not to for some unknown reason. And it took Keemstar getting him to finally post a video that they were able to see the whole thing.
So, what they're saying, the kind of narrative going around, if Wings did 2 abuses on Kelly on camera, then therefore more abuse could be will be happening behind the home, apparently,
or possibly happening.
Do you believe more abuse has occurred?
More than likely, given how she immediately defended his actions by saying, I tripped and fell, it was my fault, I should have done better to protect the situation or cool it down. Yes. That is typical signs, and I hate to phrase it like that, but that is stereotypical signs of an abused spouse. Wings is more than likely abusing his wife behind the scenes, and he needs to be investigated by the FBI right fucking now.
I think it's a fair assumption. I think it's a fair assumption to make that there could be abuse behind the scenes. I think it's a fair assumption.
It's more than a fair assumption. It's more than likely a sad fact. Yeah. And that's what pisses me off. And I'll rip in the Wings after we go to step by step through what he does to her. I'll rip into him. Because I've got a lot I want to say about him. Just like I ripped into Xylee for her stupid comments, Wings is going to get it too. Everybody who didn't do something to protect her on some level is going to get it. And trust me, I'll rip into Boogie as well. I said Boogie did some things wrong. He did some things right, but I'll still rip into him for what's about to happen next. So the stage right runs away like a little bitch. You see, right there. So he pushes her. I'm going to go to slow motion real quick so we can see his face as he goes down. Look at that. Look at that face right there. You want to know what that face is? Chill Force brought it up. That's the face of a man that's done it before. That is rage in his eyes. That is somebody who has at least done it to other people he knows and claims he loves before. That is a man. Oh, actually, excuse me, that's not a man. That's a bitch. That is a fucking bitch. People like him are a fucking bitch. His arms were fully extended.
Yeah, arms fully extended.
Raised up like fist, like he's getting ready to punch her. And she already has her arms up in the air trying to defend her face. Now, the kid behind the camera at this point has stopped helping, and he's now just filming it. Now, one could argue maybe he's filming it because he's going to turn that footage over. He's going to tell Keemstar, we're going to turn this over to the police. They're going to need footage proof of it. But that's bullshit for this particular reason. Yeah. Hold on. I didn't finish yet. I'm just bringing up somebody I read that said this. So let me finish before you cut me off. Yeah. That's bullshit because it's already being live streamed. It's already being live streamed. It's being recorded by 2 other cameras at the exact same time. He should have stepped in and did something, but he didn't. Instead of just latching onto him initially and then letting go, he should have dropped the camera or dropped his phone and grabbed back on or tried to get over and get Kelly out of the situation. Even if he snatched Kelly up and ran off with her, I would have had tremendous respect for him at that point, because at least wise he was trying to help the victim of the situation then. Or if he had stepped behind Billy the Fridge and said, what's the question?
Do you think, because I think a commenter's sort of alluding to it here, do you think if it was anybody else but Kelly in front of him, do you think he would have pushed him?
No. I guarantee you if Billy the Fridge was right there, even if he attempted to, Billy the Fridge would have right back and Wings would have fell down. If it was Boogie, maybe. But even then, Boogie would have thrown hands at that point. It would have been the boxing match 2.0. But I do not believe, in my honest opinion, that if it was anybody else, maybe except for Keemstar, but that's obvious there, because that was who he was going after. The ultimate victim or the ultimate target. But that's the point. My answer is no. I do not believe he would have pushed anybody else. He intentionally targeted his wife. Intentionally.
I kind of feel like I think I agree with Flynn in the comments. I think had it been somebody small like Kelly, even another woman would have pushed her. If it was somebody big, probably not. But if it was somebody like Kelly or Kelly size, even if it had been Brantley, if it had been Desi, if it had been Twiggy, somebody in front, he probably would have pushed and knocked him through, I believe, because I think he was that mad at Keemstar. But at some point, I do think, while he's pushing his wife, that he's angry at Kelly for getting in his way. I do think that.
I believe he intentionally targeted her. That's what I believe. Because here's the other thing that pisses me off about it. Here's the other thing that pisses me off. Look at it. Look at the face. And by the way, this is the thumbnail of the video. In case you guys are wondering, this is the clip I used to get the thumbnail. Look at the face. Can you really tell me that's the face of somebody that cares about the woman he just assaulted? And Boogie right there. Now, at this initial moment, Boogie's totally being fucking useless. So that's where I agree with you there. It was after when Wings started to cool down and Boogie was talking to him where I said Boogie was in the right, because Boogie was talking to him. He was getting him to calm down. He was getting him to come over to him because he was going to get Boogie. His idea was to get Wings on the couch with him, because if he could get Wings to sit down, he would be able to get him to at least somewhat calm down. But Xylee and the others kept egging it on by standing there, threatening violence and threatening to whoop his ass. Kim was the only other one that was being smart about it by trying not to egg it on any further. And whoever else was yelling, "Shut the fuck up," wasn't helping.
Chill Force's video, there's a few things I disagreed with because I also saw it earlier. He really wasn't happy with the woman that came in. Like, if you go ahead and play the clip, we can see the woman that comes in. And she goes, that's your wife, that's your wife. She was the bravest motherfucker there.
Let me go back to normal speed. I forgot I was on slow speed. Yeah, so he's being useless cunt waffle. So look at Billy the Fridge, and Boogie are now trying to get his attention. They're now trying to get his attention. Billy's doing the somewhat, I would say, more brave than smart thing by touching onto him, holding on his arm, tapping him on the chest. You see, Kelly is now in a tremendous amount of pain. And I'm not like trying to call Donald Trump kind of funny thing. I'm actually being serious when I say she's in a tremendous amount of pain. Boogie's looking at me like, hey, what the fuck, man? You gotta calm down. This is, hey, look at me. This is bad. Don't do this. Just stop. Calm down. Take a breath.
Hey, imagine if Kelly got up and did the Boogie line. I'm in tremendous pain. Help me. Imagine if she did the Boogie line.
Oh, God.
Did the Boogie line right?
Oh, God. That would have been fucked up. That was so fucked up.
Would you have thought it was a bit then, or would you have thought...
Oh, I would have been like, what the fuck is... I would have been, oh, what the fuck, man? Why are they making fun of domestic violence now? What the fuck? Like, what is this, all a bit to make fun of Boogie now? if that happened.
Like tonight, our entire episode is rendered useless because they fucking say, we were just playing a bit, it was fake scripted stuff after all. We got you.
Oh, I would be fucking on Twitter going, at Keemstar, you're the most useless cunt waffle I've ever seen in my entire life. Go fuck yourself. Click. Fucking useless cunt waffles.
That would be the way, but it was actually real, but that's their way of covering it up.
I'm sure that's what they're gonna do. To say some kind of scripted shit.
Okay, so brass tacks on that.
Yeah, see, Boogie's trying to talk to him. Billy's trying to talk down. They're both trying to talk to him. She's fucking retarded. I'm gonna rip into her for a minute. You see two big grown fucking men are talking to him. They've got his attention. He's starting to calm down. He's looking around. He's kind of realizing what he's just done. Because that's why he's looking at her. Because when he leaned down, this is where Chill Force is wrong. Chill Force, if you pay attention to his lips, you would have understood the words where "Are you okay?" came out of his mouth, which meant that he knew what he did was wrong, and he was asking her because everybody's yelling over the top. Kelly can't really hear, so he's leaning in to speak to her so she could hear him clearly while everybody else is screaming over the top. Chill Force, you gotta pay more attention. But anyhow, to get back to it, just like Xylee, you need to pay more attention. Whoever the fuck this woman is the most retarded woman I've ever met in my entire life. She's more retarded than Tina. She's more retarded than Grace. She's more retarded than Lynx. This is retarded. Here's why.
I mean, you disagree. She's got bigger balls than all the guys there. She's got big balls.
You're telling me the guys that weren't initially grabbing onto Wings didn't have balls? The people that actually were trying to hold on to him and pull him back and push him back? Or that Billy the Fridge right there who has his hands on Wings doesn't have balls? Is that what you're telling me? Because that's a retarded take. She's retarded.
She's got bigger balls than everybody. She went up to Wings and said, "That's your wife. That's your fucking wife." I was like, she's 5 foot nothing, 100-something pound nothing or whatever. And she's like looking right at Wings after what he just did to Kelly. It's like, "You motherfucker." And I'm like, I gotta give her props for the break.
No, that's fucking retarded. That is retarded. That's agging on the fight. That's agging on to the situation. Because now he's looking at her.
You don't give her props for being brave?
No, that's not bravery. That's stupidity. There's a difference. That's stupidity. Bravery would have been. That's what I'm saying.
Fucking cold cocked her right there.
That's what she. And at that point, no, she didn't bring it on herself. If he cold cocked her, then he deserves to spend the rest of his life in a grave. But she was setting herself up for that. That's the thing. She is setting herself up for that moment because she's now agging on the fight and say, "Hey man, look at me. Hey, look, you just attacked your wife. Calm down. Just calm down. Look at me. This doesn't need to happen. Look at me." Instead of drawing his attention and trying to talk him down from the fight, instead she's now agging it on by saying, "You motherfucker, you tell you what, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that to you." Threatening fucking violence like Xylee was doing to Boogie only makes the situation worse. There's a reason why police tell people to not get involved in situations like that and not be a fucking hero, because you make the situation worse. You're not Batman. You're not Batwoman.
Kim should have tackled Wings. Kim should have tackled Wings. Kim should have cold cocked Wings.
What should have happened was, if they really wanted to stop the fight, Billy the Fridge, Mike behind the camera, or I should say the Peter behind the camera, and Boogie, all three should have stood right in front of Wings, grappled onto him, and hold him there, and forcefully bring him to the couch, and hold him to the couch, and made him calm down. That's what they should have done. Kelly should have not have been dragged into it.
I have a challenge. I want Keemstar and Wings to take up this challenge. I believe we should have a boxing match. Keem versus Wings. We will restream it on this channel. And if Wings beats Keem, Wings gets LOLCal Live. If Keem beats Wings, he doesn't have to pay him his last paycheck and could cut all ties with him.
I would be down to do that. I would be down to commentate on that. I would be so down to commentate on that live. I would love to do that. But I stand by my words. That's not bravery. That's stupidity. She put herself in danger when she didn't need to.
we recapped this fight enough. I know this was the main event. Give your final thoughts on that, and then we'll go to the last clip of Boogie, which is insane, and we got to talk about it.
Ooh. I'm trying not to, because I've been yelling a lot, and I'm starting to lose my voice. So, my ultimate thought here is Keemstar needs to be investigated and possibly potentially be arrested for having his hand involvement, because he damn well knew Wings needed his medication. Kelly should have been protected at all costs after she was attacked. The harlot should not have, or whatever the fuck they called her, because I think it was harlot was what they called her, which is kind of fucked up, honestly. But whatever her actual name is, should not have touched Wings, should not have yelled at Wings. The bravery thing would have been to have grabbed Kelly and removed her from the situation, because if you look, Kelly's still right there. What's stopping Wings from decking her with his left hand?
But I do have a question for you, sir. This is what I want to get brass tacks on with. So out of Becky and Wings, or anybody else you want to bring up, who should be fired from the LOLCOW universe?
As much as I despise Becky for the fake allegations, as much as I despise Boogie for lying about cancer and faking his autism, as much as I despise... Who else do I want to despise?
Behind the camera.
Tina. Oh yeah, that was I couldn't remember his name, so I was going to move on to Tina, but yeah, Pedo behind the camera. Wings ultimately assaulted his wife, assaulted Keemstar, threatened people's lives with a gun, and more than likely potentially is a domestic abuser. He deserves to be fired above everything else. Because it is
so you're saying only Wings should be fired, Becky should be left on the show, everybody else left on the show, right? That's your official position?
To my knowledge, she's gone, so I can't say anything about her being fired because she's technically been fired.
You agree with Keemstar's. Basically, you agree with Keemstar's decision on it.
So far, I agree with what Keemstar is now doing, except for he won't fucking report it to the police for some fucking reason.
Okay, so I got
Let's switch ears real quick.
My thoughts on it. So these are my final thoughts on the Wings situation, and then we can move on to Boogie. So I actually think that Wings and Becky are huge draws in the LOLCOW universe, but I do think Wings should take a demotion. I mentioned this earlier. Just move Wings to Madhouse. They never have to do any real life things. Wings takes a big pay cut. Him and Joffe have a great chemistry. Just do that. And like I said, when it comes to Billy and Xylee, if they don't like that decision, walk. You two can make a better show on your own, where you're not even talking just about LOLCOW stuff. I think you guys can branch off and just walk and put Madhouse in their position where they're on after Queens. That's my opinion. See Grace come back, bring him back. LOLCOW rejects, let's go. Have that too. Put Zeta Ray on Milkers. Move Savage up to Queens with Tina and Becky. Leave Becky on the show too. She's too entertaining not to. Move Kid behind the camera to LOLCOW Live. That's my official position. None of it's going to happen, so it's a wish list for me on how I would do things. I think Wings could still have a place in the LCU, but I think it needs to avoid these sort of events at all costs. Same with Becky. She doesn't get to do these events. Just do your fucking shows online. That's where you're best at. Wings would be better off with Joffe. He just would. He'd be happier even making less money. And if Kelly wants to press charges, that is up to her.
I say give the evidence to the state.
Wings back on his meds too.
Well, not only on his meds, but I believe if we're truly going to go with the Wings should be back on the show, he needs to face charges anyhow. He needs to face charges. There needs to be consequences to his actions. Meds or not, he still assaulted his wife. He still assaulted Keemstar. And he didn't just assault his wife once, twice on camera. So why shouldn't we believe he's done it more than twice?
I think it's very important with consenting adults. The state doesn't force.
In Texas, it does not matter if.
He says, "I say fix Wings with RTU and make that a thing." Yeah, RTU won't work in the local anymore under any state.
If you missed that earlier, he said he's not going to do it.
Yeah, Wings and Jaffe could work. But what I was going to say, though, when it comes to charges, I like the idea of consenting adults deciding whether or not to charge versus the state, unless minors are involved. So even though maybe some people should suggest to Kelly, let's press charges, at the end of the day, it's up to Kelly or Keem if they want to press charges. They're not going to. So from there...
Well, I'm going to say it doesn't matter. I'm going to say it doesn't matter in the state. Federally, it does not matter. A crime has been committed. Therefore, the job of the Justice Department and the FBI is to protect the people, which means charges are to be brought, whether the victims want to do it or not.
You want to make a bet on it?
You're talking to someone whose grandma was one of the secretaries of the State Patrol in Georgia from 1957 to 1997. That's how I know.
If Wings gets charged by the state, not by Kelly or Keem, but the state charges Wings in the next year, what's our bet?
You gotta do.
What's happening?
You gotta do a full body shave live on camera. And it's gotta be posted to OnlyFans too. You gotta do an OnlyFans of you slowly shaving yourself.
So then in a year when he's not charged by the state, you're gonna do that on your Patreon?
I got nothing to fucking shave. I got nothing.
I got a lot of shit. Okay, we'll make a friendly bet. We'll worry about the terms later, actually. But we can make a little friendly wager.
Wait, I'll wager like $20.
No, we can't do that on camera because this is a non-gambling state, right? But what we could do is we'll just see who's right about it. All right, if he gets charged by the state in the next year, I was wrong, and I'll admit I'm wrong. How about that?
Now, once it's like in 5 years, they charge him. Like not in 1 year, but like in 5 years.
In 5 minutes from now, we see breaking news: Wings of Redemption charged.
Yeah, Joey Jordanson, aka Wings of Redemption, has been charged with assault and battery.
Oh, make Wings tattoo like Boogie saying Peter.
Oh, fuck. Finn, you're hilarious.
You gotta get it on the forehead. Wife beater.
And it has to be big, bold letters. It has to be clearly visible what the words say.
If he does that, I will accept him back on Locale Live. Would you, Tim's?
I would accept that. I could live with those conditions.
We wrapped the bow on the Wings situation then. We finally came to an agreement. Let's move on to Boogie before
because I want to
before Locale actually.
Because I've been trying to myself kind of wrap it up because I want to